what do you do against a horde of zombie tokens and zombie generals and spells that are aimed to disrupt, destroy, and eradicate any opponents that stand in the way of the horde? Well, folks, here at MTG Burgeoning, we are going to find out the answers to those questions. I'd like to welcome you to one of my play group's play variants, and this is the Zombie Horde deck. So let's begin with the standard construction of what a Zombie Horde deck. And we're going to start with the basic 2/2 tokens. Now, in this particular Horde Zombie deck, we have a total of 180 cards in the deck. And 80 of those cards are these 2/2 tokens, various creature tokens throughout the history of Magic. 80 2/2 zombie creature tokens. In addition to the 80 2/2 zombie creature tokens, we have 50 zombie giant tokens. Now, these are the 5/5 bad boys. And there are 50 of these. So of our 180 card zombie horde deck, 130 tokens. In addition to our zombie creature tokens, we have some creature support. Mikaeus the Unhallowed. We have the Raving Dead, 2/6 Death Touch. This deals combat damage to a player. That player loses half of his or her life rounded down. Liliana's Reaver, a token engine. Another zombie lord and the Death Baron. And the Cemetery Reaper. The Undead War Chief, ×2. Fleshbag Marauder, 2 of those. A Noxious Ghoul. Whenever he or another zombie comes into play, all non-zombie creatures get -1/-1 time of turn. These are your zombie board sweeps. The Infectious Horror, 2 of those. The Vengeful Dead, 2 of those. And of course, we have to have the Grey Merchant, Black Devotion, 2 of those. The Malfield Twins from Avacyn Restored. When they die, you put 2 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield. Newsgraph Mob. They enter with 5 counters. Whenever a spell is cast, a counter comes off and a 2/2 black zombie creature goes into play. 2 of those. No zombie horde deck would be complete without 2 copies of the Soulless One and 2 copies of the Unbreathing Horde. $25 of those. That brings our total up to 155 cards. The last 25 are going to be some support spells for our zombie horde deck. And we start with, of course, Army of the Damned, the great mythic rare from Innistrad. Siphon Flesh. The Zombie Apocalypse. A Smallpox. Plague Wind. In Garrick's Wake, which is Plague Wind on steroids. A Delirium Skeins, ×2. A Necromantic Selection, ×2. A Dictate of Erebus. A Painful Quandary. A Grave Betrayal. A Baneful Omen. Forsaken Wastes. Yes, we're going deep for this one, all the way back to Mirage, folks. Visions, Desolation. Call to the Grave. Intimidation. Mercadian Mask shout out. The Bottomless Pit. Back from Stronghold. Dark Suspicions. The Death Pits of Wrath. A Bad Moon, ×2. And 2 Endless Ranks of the Dead. These are cards 179 and 180 of our Horde deck. So let's take these cards, let's put them together, and let's see the Horde deck in action. And here is our 180 card Horde deck ready for action. When the Horde's turn comes up, they reveal the top card of their library. If they reveal a token, it goes into play. And you repeat that process again. Token. Reveal another card. Another token. Reveal another card. Another token. You continue to reveal cards from the top of the Horde's library until a non-token card is revealed. And there's Plague Winds. So the Horde would cast Plague Winds, destroying all creatures they don't control and they cannot be regenerated. The spell goes to the graveyard. The Horde's time at the library for this turn are over. All creatures the Horde controls have haste and attack every turn if able. So for this particular example, the Horde would already attack you and your opponents for a total of 11 points on their first turn. And it's up to you to block them after your boys got Plague Winded. So after these guys are tapped, it would be you and your teammates' turn. So we go back again. The Horde untaps for their next turn. Reveal another card, another token. Reveal another card, another token. You can see how this is going to get way out of hand real quick. And there's the Noxious Ghoul. So if you're going to put on any elves or chumpies, they're going to be gone. Then the Horde sets to attack with a 3/3 Noxious Ghoul. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2/2s and 2 5/5s. And that's how the Horde rolls when they're taking their turns. They reveal cards from the top of their library until a non-token card is revealed. The Horde casts that spell, and then they attack with all creatures that are on the battlefield that they control. That is how the Horde fights you. And it's up to you to stop them. But how do we stop the Horde? We defeat the Horde by dealing damage to them, either through combat, through direct damage, or through loss of life. And when we do that, the Horde removes cards from the library into the graveyard. So if for some reason you had a destruction spell and all their creatures go to the graveyard, and you are able to attack with a bunch of 2/2s that say we did 10 points of damage to the Horde this turn, they'll take 10 cards and go right into the graveyard. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the object of the game is to get this 180 card deck from library to graveyard and all permanents in play exiled. Once this library has been depleted and has no other cards in it, any permanents in play become exiled in place of the cards going from the library to the graveyard. And that's how you defeat the Horde. You and your teammates each get a combined X times 20 life, where X is the number of teammates you have. So if you're rolling with 3 other guys and you're playing, you're starting off with 80 life. If you got 5, you got 100. If it's just you and 1, you got 40 life. And good luck trying to stop the Horde with only 40 life. To try to get ahead, though, you and your teammates do get to take the first 3 turns of the game. So before the Horde even begins to pile out smallpox, so this boy's out, So before the horde even begins to amass an army to attack you, you and your teammates get the first combined 3 turns of the game. You cannot attack during those first 3 turns, and afterwards you pass turn to the horde, and then you embrace yourself for the onslaught. And I think that's pretty much all. That's the best way I can describe it for you, folks. It's relentless. You keep revealing cards from the top every time. One spell. You can make variations, of course. You can have the horde take 2 consecutive turns to really challenge your deck building and magic playing capabilities. One side note that should be mentioned is anytime there's a planeswalker in play, whenever the horde is attacking with their creatures, there's 13 2/2s coming into play. Whenever the horde is attacking with any creatures, you and your teammates must roll to see whether or not those creatures are going to attack opponents or if they're going to attack the planeswalkers. So it's not a bad idea to include some planeswalkers into your deck defending against the horde, but be prepared for a much longer game because the dice rolling could get really out of control, particularly if you're letting the horde untap after casting a Army of the Damned. Because here we go. They're just non-stopping. Look at that. And then there's the Undead War Chief for +2/+1 all the way around. All right, folks. That is our zombie horde. I look forward to hearing in the comments if anyone has a horde deck in their play groups or if they have ever participated in any kind of play variant featuring a horde deck. I am interested, very interested in trying to put together a sliver horde deck. I think that would be quite the challenge to try to defeat. I don't look forward to trying to accumulate so many sliver creature tokens, but that may be for another time. So, thanks for clicking on this video. Thank you for letting me share a play variant with you, and I hope it helps to inspire some additional types of play. Go forth and enjoy this day.